President Trump wants to send a $2,000 stimulus check to all Americans, including seniors on Social Security and disability benefits. Plus, he wants to get it done this year, 2025, before the end of the year. So, I have been getting a lot of questions from my viewers asking me whether this is real and whether this stimulus check is going to happen. And I understand why, because there's been a lot of promises about stimulus all year long and we've not seen a dime. And so there's a lot of suspicion around this. So I did the research, but here's the thing. The administration is also getting the same question. The White House press secretary was interviewed a few days ago and was asked specifically, how can Americans trust the president to make this stimulus happen this year? And I'm going to share with you exactly what the White House press secretary said about the stimulus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you background as to how this came about, because this started as a $600 stimulus. And then it went to 1,000, and then now it's 2,000. And then I'm going to tell you what needs to happen in order for this to become a reality before the end of the year. Because guess what? We are 45 days away from the end of 2025. And if Congress is going to do this, they have to get on with it right now. My name is Wami Quad. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance topics that affect seniors and their retirement, their finances, and their benefits. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor. Go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, welcome back. I am glad you're here. Thank you for your continued support. So I have a lot to cover, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I like to come with receipts and show you my research and where I'm getting my information from. And so I'm going to walk you through logically how we got to a $2,000 stimulus, and most importantly, whether this is really going to happen. So let's start with some lesson about how this all started. It started in July when the president said he wanted to send a $600 stimulus check. This prompted Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri to draft legislation in the Congress. And here's what the legislation looks like. It says in the 119th Congress, which is the current Congress we have right now, to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, I believe that's what it says, to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to provide rebate checks to individuals using tariffs. And if you scroll through the bill, you will see under a section on, I think the second page here, it is the 14-page bill that they're going to pay $600 or more in stimulus. Because that's what the president said he wanted to do. So the senator drafted this, and then the president moved on to something else. Nothing happened with this whole promise to send a $600 stimulus in the summer. Fast forward a few months later, the president was back in the news in October. On October the 7th, the president made news again, this time saying that he wants to send an even bigger stimulus check. So, let's talk about that. So, here it is. On October the 7th, Fox News, Trump says he's considering giving Americans $2,000 tariff stimulus. So, the president is saying that he's collecting so much money, the country is getting so much money from tariff revenue that he wants to send a stimulus check as a dividend to the American people. So, he came back, and this time around, it went from $600 to something bigger. So let's read this together. It said that, President Trump said he's looking to sending stimulus checks worth $1,000 to $2,000. Stimulus check will be dividend to the people of America. Stimulus will be funded from revenues generated from tariffs. He said, here's this president being quoted. We are going to do something. We are looking at something. Number one, we are going to pay down the debt because people have allowed the debt to go crazy, said Trump. We also might make a distribution. Key phrase. We also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America. We are thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. It will be great. That was October. October the 7th, and then nothing happened. And then by that time, the shutdown has started. And so that sucked the oxygen out of everything, out. And if you've been paying attention, you know the government shutdown just ended a few days ago. And then coincidentally, the president is back in the news again with another stimulus idea, and this time an even higher amount. So here's a president stimulus check $2,000, and he wants to do it before the end of the year. So not only is the president saying he wants to do another stimulus or he wants to do the stimulus, he wants to make it happen by the end of this year. So here's another Fox report. It says tariff dividend. What Trump is again saying about a possible 2025 stimulus. So let's read this. That was November the 9th, a few days ago. President Trump said on social media Sunday, this past Sunday, that he's looking to sending tariff dividends check worth $2,000 to some Americans. Trump has floated, as I have mentioned several times this year, the idea of a stimulus check. The Trump administration said it has collected billions of dollars in tariff revenue. So, here's the president saying he's going to do this. And, the backstory, as I mentioned, is that he's promised this before, and the president said they've collected a record amount of tariff revenue. So how much tariff revenue have they collected? Well, here you go. So it's important to see January, they collected $8 billion. April, they had collected $17 billion. July, they had collected $30 billion. And September, $31 billion. So if I'm doing a rough math, 30, 60, 90, 120, 140, maybe, another, 40, so 180 billion. In tariff revenue, okay, 180 billion. But the president is promising this money to a lot of things. He's saying that is trillions of dollars. It is not trillions, at least not yet. It is $180 billion out of September. Okay, at best. And so the question is, the president wants to use the money to do a lot of things, including paying down the debt. The debt is $37 trillion. So $180 billion is not going to make a big dent in that unless he's committing all of the money he's going to collect from dividends from tariffs to the debt. So let's do some realistic assessment of what can happen if the president wants to send stimulus check. And there's been reporting around this. And so I'm not the only one that is asking these questions because there's been some reporting around making sure that this is realistic. So here's what I think. Before I even read this, here's what I think. But before, if you want to stay on top of all of this, text the word insider to 44329-30080 and join my text list. I have thousands of seniors that are receiving 1 or 2 text messages from me each week letting you know about critical updates. Not only updates, but what's behind the update. How does it affect your benefits, your retirement, and your finances? So join my text club. It doesn't cost anything. It's free of charge, and I will make sure that I keep you informed of critical updates that you should know. So text the word insider to 4432-930080. So what do I think is going to happen? The president wants to use the tariff revenue to pay off the debt to also then fund stimulus, and then he wants to also pay for his tax cuts. And he's saying that they're getting billions of dollars, and that has not materialized yet. So my opinion is that if the president wants to get a stimulus check out to the American people, he needs to make that his #1 priority on how he wants to spend the money that he's getting from tariffs. Because there's not going to be enough money to do the stimulus to pay down the debt and also pay for the tax cuts. It's not going to happen. And so what are the realistic chances that's going to happen? For me, the signal is what is priority for the president? Because we know that if President Trump wants something out of Congress, and it is his #1 priority, he's going to get it. We saw that with a big, beautiful bill. That was a gigantic bill. He got it through because that was his #1 priority. If he wants a stimulus check done before the end of the year, we have to hear it from him. Not something that he just says periodically to get us all excited. And then he moves on to the next thing. He has to make it his #1 priority. And I think Congress would take it seriously and pass a bill to do just that. So we have this article saying that over the weekend, President Trump promised Americans $2,000 from the trillions of dollars in tax revenue. You saw them put out in quotes because it's not trillions. It is not yet trillions. And I don't think you can see this. So let me share it with you. It is not yet trillions that is put in quotes because it is not. It's not yet. And so during the second term, Trump has imposed tariffs broadly on countries and on specific goods such as drugs, steel, and cars. And he went on to say he wants to send the stimulus check and wants to get it done as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, the case is in the Supreme Court to even decide whether the tariffs are even legal. So, assuming the Supreme Court rules in his favor, assuming rules in his favor, then he will have to then push Congress to get it done. But the president wants to use the money for a whole bunch of things. And so we have to see him prioritize the stimulus before it can be done. And he said he wants to send it to all Americans, including seniors on Social Security and disability. And so my belief is that if the president wants to do it, he has to prioritize stimulus and make sure that everybody in Congress knows that this is what he wants done for the American people before the end of the year to give everybody a Christmas bonus and a Merry Christmas. And so to answer your question, what are the realistic chances that it will happen? I want to hear from the president talk about it more. If he keeps talking about it every day and won't stop talking about it, then yeah, because one thing you know about President Trump, if there's something that he wants to get across, he doesn't stop talking about it. If you ask him a question, he will switch the question around and say what he wants to say. And so I want to see that same level of commitment about the tariffs and the stimulus to saying that he wants to use the tariff revenue to fund the stimulus. And if he says that relentlessly, then I know Congress is going to pay attention and they're going to make it happen. So that is my thought process around this. I want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know whether you think the president is serious about this, or do you think he's just dangling something to get us excited and we are going to be disappointed about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but before I go, I want to share something that I've been working on with you, and that is my school community. So a lot of you have been asking me that you wanted more content from me, that, you go to YouTube sometimes, and you're missing on content that I'm creating. And so you want a platform where you can go to be able to see everything. And that is exactly what I've done in this school community that over 250 seniors have already joined, and is to help you basically stay on top of the news, maximize your retirement benefits and perks, and minimize stress and get the benefits that you deserve. So what does this mean? Well, I created a community for seniors 50 plus, 55 plus to help you unlock every dollar, every discount, and every advantage from Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and more. So how does this work? Well, essentially, you get a weekly exclusive videos from me. I'm creating videos that I'm posting on this platform alone. I am sharing monthly money-saving tips and senior discounts. I'm giving you step-by-step guides. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Live Q&A sessions with me and other experts and a supporting friendly community to help you thrive before and during retirement. So, what does this community look like? Well, as I said, I'm creating videos and posting it exclusively on this platform. I am answering your questions and in detail. Like if you ask me a question, I'm doing the research and answering your question in detail, and I'm sharing breaking news with you. And one of the biggest perks that you get with this community is that I have created a lot of guides over LA this year that I'm selling on my YouTube channel that covers a range of topics. But if you're part of this community, you get the guide for free. If you're hearing an alarm sound, the community that the town that I live in, they're testing their emergency alarm. They've been doing it all morning. I've tried to record this video many times. I will stop and start, and they won't stop. So I just decided I'm going to go ahead and record my video anyway. So talking about guides, there are many, many guides that are part of this community that you get for free, including guides like how to make an extra one, $500 to $1,000. A lot of seniors want to make extra income. They feel frustrated about where, and how to do it. I created a guide for you. Social Security and Medicare changes for 2025 AI. If you want to get familiar with AI and how you can use it in your everyday life, this is a guide for you. Secrets to boosting your Social Security. If you're even getting benefits, if you've already started claiming Social Security, this will help you increase your Social Security check. There are tips and techniques to do that. Senior Banking Guide, free checking accounts in your state, best CD rates, senior-specific packs that come with personal finances that a lot of you don't know about. I have put that in a guide. I have senior discounts, the big, beautiful bill. The next 5 years are going to be critical because there's been a lot of changes that seniors need to be aware of that is going to impact your finances and retirement that are included in the big, beautiful bill over 2,000 pages. I have distilled it into 20 pages that you should be aware of. It's all in there. Discounts for 2025. What are the best discounts that seniors should be taking advantage of right now? It is in there in this guide. There is so much happening in this community and so many benefits. Here's what the community looks like. You can see here we have a 30-day walking challenge that we did recently. The holidays are coming. We're doing recipe swaps. There is information on Social Security, Medicare, personal finance. I mean, there's a lot happening, and you can see people are engaging. And so if you want to be part of this community, go to schoolskull.com/benefits inside. I'm going to put the information in the description to this video and in the comment section, and you will be able to check it out. And I think that whatever you pay for this on a monthly basis, you are going to get value about 10 times the value the first day because all the guides alone are worth about $300 and they contain about $2,500 in discount. Just in the guides alone. That's how much money you're going to save. So this is a no-brainer. Check it out. It's a growing community. 250 seniors have already signed up and growing, and I want you to be a part of it. So I'm hoping to see you there. And that is all I wanted to share with you today. If you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on another video tomorrow.